Let me be honest here. I am a firm believer that a content brief plays a crucial role in writing a well-targeted SEO-friendly article. And I know there are many people who believe content brief is a waste of time or they have a wrong definition of a content brief. In this video, I will show you how a content brief can help even an average writer churn out an awesome write-up that will help you rank in Google search. Hi, my name is Navdeep Soni. I'm an SEO consultant, and on this channel, we break the myth that you cannot earn a handsome income online. Before we look into the real example of content brief, let us understand what is a content brief and why it is a big deal. Only then the things will make sense. But before we proceed, hit that like button to shake that YouTube algorithm. See, the goal of this video is not about how to write a content brief, but what to write in a content brief. Content brief is much more than that standard instructions you give to the writer with your primary keyword and few additional keywords that they need to focus on. Honestly, it is much more than that. A content brief is a framework, a skeleton for your article that defines how your article will shape up. As an SEO, it gives you the control over the quality of the article as if you are writing it and not a writer. And even if you are the writer or you are outsourcing the content writing, you need to first write a content brief after doing your thorough research on the topic. Doing research on the go while you're writing will be expensive, as you or the writer may end up covering some irrelevant topics or putting more effort on subtopics that need limited attention in your article. A content brief is a set of instructions so that the writer has a clear understanding of what to write, what to include or exclude, and how much he needs to write on any given subtopic. This can only be achieved after thorough research, and in my opinion, content brief is 50% of actual writing or the content creation. So now imagine if you're not making an effort on content brief, what kind of article you will end up with. So now let us jump into the sample content brief and get into the details on why and how you need to approach a content brief.
So this is a sample brief from one of my best of articles, like best products listings. Let us go through each section and understand why it is important for your content writers and how it is going to help them. The first section is the overview of the content brief. You give the topic name to them and then give them the goal, what they are trying to achieve in this article. The second one is the target audience. They should know who their target audience is. Let's say if it's a best coffee machine article, that doesn't mean it doesn't require a target audience. You need to give them some sort of a demographic, their age group, their interest. That will help your writer to understand for whom they are writing. They will be able to visualize that person, and that will further help them to write a better article. The next one is the deadline. You provide them, what deadline they need to take care of, who is the project owner, and then give them some idea about the word count. Let's say if you are expecting 2000 to 2500 word article, give them that range. It will help you and the content writer to be on the same page that what kind of or how much content we are expecting in this article. Target headings, you can skip that because generally we tend to give them what headings they will be using, like subheadings on and everything that should be there in the content brief. So that's not really a big deal. Then comes the basic instructions which you tend to give to our content writers. So that come over here, how they need to approach the competitors, all the basic guidelines which you need to provide to your content writer. The next is the sources or the competitors. So every piece of content which you are writing or your content writer is writing will be competing with the SERP, right? So there will be top 10 or top 20 competitors for your article, right? So they should know whom they are competing with. They need to write a better article from these competitors because only then you will be able to rank. So mention all those URLs over here. Then comes the topic clusters. So these topic clusters should not be confused with the topic clusters we discussed for a website. These are basically the entities which you need to provide them so that they know what are the important entities or clusters in this article. We use Surfer SEO, Phrase, and there are many other tools as well. But if you don't use any tool specifically for this, you can do it manually as well, looking into your competitors. And there are free, I think there are many free tools that will help you to identify entities which the competitors are using, so that you can provide over here. Like if it's a coffee, these are the kind of keywords or phrases that are expected to come in your article, like pre-grounded coffee or a pre-ground coffee, coffee grounds. These are very specific phrases which should be used in the article. Similarly, for a milk, it's a steamed milk, frothy milk. So there can be other words for a frothy milk, but at least they should know that frothy milk is what they need to mention. Then comes the actual format of the article. What is the format for this article? It generally starts with a disclosure that there will be affiliate links in the article, so that needs to come over here. The first is the introduction. So introduction is a very important, not many people stress on this, but you need to write a compelling introduction. It should have some sort of a hook so that the user is enticed to read further in the article. So that's the one point which a lot of people miss. The next one is a quick list of top best coffee machines. In your case, that primary keyword will be replaced by best coffee machine. You need to provide the list of products which the writer needs to use. Either it's 5, 10, whatever the count of articles, you need to provide them. And tell your writer what it is best for. If you feel your writer is not equipped to find out a certain product and understand what it is best for, you provide this table to that content writer. Let's say if there's a product A, coffee machine, it is best for, let's say, home, it should come over here, best for home use or best for office use. That's how you need to decide this table. And depending upon your niche, if you are not providing this table, you can skip that part, or maybe you can replace it with whatever you are using. The first product will be obviously the editor's pick or the top pick, the best of the best, that will come over here. According to me, it should have at least one image and top 2 or 3 features which that product has, and that should be specifically mentioned at the top, followed by a short review. And as you can see, this again has some sort of a word count. Again, I like to provide a range or a certain figure for a review as well, so that they understand what should be the word count for that review or how much they need to write for that review. Let's say if you expect 500 to 800 words, just mention it over there. You don't want to end up with a bloated content where your writer is writing 1500 words for a one product and then 500 for the second one and 200 for the other. It should be even, and you should pass on the clear instructions what you are expecting in each product review. And in my case, like I said, this is, as you can see, there are some pros and cons that needs to be mentioned so that the reader clearly can find out what the pros for this product are and what are the cons for this product are. The same format has to be repeated for all the products. Then again, my best of articles generally have a buying guide, and that again should have a word count according to me, because buying guide should be around 800 to 1000 words for a very competitive keyword, and reader generally tends to read these sort of buying guides. Again, word count, like I said, it will be very helpful to the content writer. You don't want a 500 word buying guide when you are expecting, let's say, 1000 or 1200 word buying guide. Again, depending upon your article, you will have further subtopics which you need to mention over there, and then again pass on the instructions for each subtopic, what you are expecting from them. My content brief generally will have FAQs, and I tend to give them the questions for all these FAQs. If there are 5 FAQs, those 5 questions will be listed over here. And as per the instructions, I expect the content writer to come up with short answers, like 2-3 lines that he or she needs to come up. So again, a very specific instruction for FAQs. And lastly is the conclusion, and it is very similar to introduction. It should be very compelling, because a lot of readers tend to read introduction and conclusion. If they feel that the introduction and conclusion has been written very well, they generally tend to go up or down the article and try to find out what we have to say about the products. Then there are few checklists, or few checks the writer has to go through before submitting the article. So those come over here. Like in my case, the checks are, having Hemingway screenshot. If they are using Hemingway app, they need to provide a screenshot so that I can see what was the score for Hemingway, and similarly for Grammarly as well. And then the last, like I said, the submission checklist that will be mentioned over here, so that content writer knows, okay, these are the 4 5 things which I need to check before submitting the article. So yeah, that was it for this content brief. This is a sample content brief which I wanted you to go through and understand how to write a content brief that will help the writer, and it will reduce the editing time and to and fro of sending article again to the writer and make the changes. This will shorten that time. Your content writer will exactly know what you are expecting from him or her with respect to this article.
There is one thing you need to take away from this example, the kind of detail we have gone into this sample. Surely your content brief can vary, and it should, depending upon the kind of article you are writing, your niche, and what your competitors are covering. And if you make content plans, you should know what internal links you need to add, and you can include instructions on things to write so that all internal links can be created naturally and do not look forced to the readers. Content brief empowers and provides a sense of confidence on how to write the article, and more importantly, what to include so that you have a well-written, comprehensive SEO-friendly article. If you're keen on learning how to write an SEO-friendly article, you need to watch the next video in the series. If you're liking this series, the videos I am making, consider sharing it on social media. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, because every gesture makes a difference. That's all for today. Until next time, bye.